Affairs with co-stars, grooming allegations, and a guy who dumped his wife for a failed American Idol contestant, these Hollywood marriages got messy fast. Ben Affleck seems to like women named Jennifer, or at least he did at one point. After ending his engagement to Jennifer Lopez in 2004, he linked up with Jennifer Garner, and they were together for more than a decade. In 2015, however, they went their separate ways. Almost immediately, Affleck pivoted from Jennifer's entirely. He debuted a new relationship with SNL producer Lindsay Shookus, who is 8 years younger than Garner. Multiple sources who spoke with People magazine insisted that Shookus and Affleck had been having an affair. The sources claimed the couple had been hooking up for years while still being married. One source claimed they were having secret rendezvous every time he came into New York City and other places too. Both of them were cheating on their spouses, so they were very careful about it. Another source disputed this though, and insisted that they were simply friends until they were both single. They said, "It's still in a really early stage. He's working on himself. He's working on being happy and healthy." Affair or not, Affleck's relationship with Shookus petered out pretty quickly. He later got back together with Lopez. That relationship too eventually fell apart. Country superstar Jason Aldean was married when he first skyrocketed to the top of the charts. He and his then-wife Jessica Ussery were high school sweethearts. In 2012, though, tabloids published photos of Jason making out with Brittany Kerr, an American Idol contestant 12 years his junior who had failed to advance in the competition. He apologized on social media, writing a note to his fans that confessed, "The truth is that I screwed up. I had too much to drink, let the party get out of hand, and acted inappropriately at a bar." Despite his apology, Jason and his longtime wife divorced, and in 2014, Kerr and Aldean confirmed that they were dating after all. They ended up getting married in Mexico in a 2015 ceremony. Aldean sent in a statement to Us Weekly about the wedding, gushing, "This is the best day ever. I've got my girl here, my friends, my family. It's the best day ever."
You look good and he knows it.
Oh, I know it. I know it.
When Camille Grammer's stint on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills began, she was married to Frasier star Kelsey Grammer. In 2010, the couple divorced. Quite quickly, Kelsey moved on with a much younger woman named Kate Walsh. Apparently, Camille and Kelsey had never signed a prenuptial agreement, which meant she was entitled to a significant chunk of her ex-husband's fortune. She walked away with $30 million.
Thank God I didn't have a prenup. I mean, yay, thank you, Kelsey. I guess you loved me at one point.
Camille was forced to defend the settlement on Real Housewives, reflecting, "I just didn't sit back buying fancy clothes and shoving bonbons in my face. I mean, I worked hard." Even though her husband was moving on with someone decades younger, Camille congratulated him on his new relationship. In a statement to People magazine, she said, "What I most hope is that Kelsey and I can improve our communications and truly co-parent our two wonderful children. And I wish Kelsey and Kate love and happiness in their new marriage." They were hitched a mere 2 weeks after the divorce was finalized. Grammer was 55 at the time, and his new bride was only 29. When 1980s funny man Ted Danson split from longtime wife Casey Coates to link up with Whoopi Goldberg instead, Hollywood was enthralled. Goldberg was 18 years younger than his wife, and the divorce wound up being one of the costliest in Tinseltown history. Danson and Goldberg got together on the set of Made in America, and his marriage to Coates crumbled.
Are you looking for something special today?
Yeah, I'd like your head on a stick.
They'd been together since before Danson landed Cheers, so Coates was entitled to a significant chunk of his wealth. Ultimately, she walked away with $30 million. Goldberg and Danson's relationship didn't last. Danson famously appeared at a Friars Club roast in blackface, performing a set full of slurs. Goldberg defended her boyfriend's choice, but the writing was on the wall. They split in 1993, with a source telling Variety, "In some ways, they seem so different as people, and I can't believe that whole Friars Club thing helped." Years later, Danson expressed regret for how the whole thing went down, telling NPR, "I wish that hadn't been me, but even your wounds, you kind of have fondness for if you've gone through them and lived through it and acknowledged it and made amends and all that stuff." Ewan McGregor was married to Eve Mavrakis for more than 2 decades, but the year 2017 changed everything. That's when McGregor filmed a season of the FX show Fargo, where he met Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's 14 years his junior, but that didn't stop the two of them from falling for one another on set.
You're the hand and I'm the glove.
You're the bottle and I'm the beer.
A source told The Sun that McGregor confessed to Mavrakis that he was in love with his co-star. As you might expect, that didn't go over particularly well. Though McGregor insisted that they hadn't consummated their mutual attraction, Mavrakis wasn't convinced. The source said, "Eve is sure Ewan and Mary were together before he confessed his feelings for her. It is hard for her to believe him. The situation is extremely difficult for her and their 4 children." Further complicating the situation, Winstead was married too. The Daily Mail reported that her husband, filmmaker Riley Stearns, had threatened McGregor on Instagram, writing, "Laugh at me, will ya? The woman of my dreams behind my back, will ya? You're f***ing dead." Stearns denied having written the threat, insisting that the tabloid had photoshopped the screenshot of his Instagram account. Either way, both couples ultimately divorced amid the fallout. Winstead and McGregor's relationship has continued ever since. When 2008 began, actor Eddie Cibrian was married to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Brandi Glanville. That year, he shot a movie called Northern Lights, and his co-star was singer LeAnn Rimes. The two fell in love on set, leading to an affair that sent shockwaves through Hollywood. In 2021, Glanville wrote an op-ed for The Sun about her experience, revealing that she'd gone to visit Cibrian on set and knew that something was going on. Then, one day at the grocery store, she saw tabloid photos of her husband kissing the country singer. The internet had video too, proving that her husband had been cheating on her all along. Glanville wrote, "He tried to convince me it wasn't real, but I knew it was over. They were sucking on each other's fingers in the footage, yet he was telling me nothing was happening. It was insane." Glanville was 36 when her marriage fell apart, and Rimes was a full decade younger. After the fallout subsided, Cibrian married Rimes in 2011. They've been together ever since. In 2003, Mary Louise Parker announced that she was pregnant with longtime boyfriend Billy Crudup. That same year, while Parker was still pregnant, Crudup ended their relationship in order to romance Claire Danes instead. Danes was in her early 20s, whereas Parker was 15 years older. Danes and Crudup's relationship didn't last, but the situation was so dramatic that it became a major part of the story of everyone involved. In 2015, Danes appeared on The Howard Stern Show and addressed the affair, telling Stern, "I was just in love with him and needed to explore that, and I was 24. I didn't quite know what those consequences would be. It was hard for Parker too. After all, she's the one who was 7 months pregnant when her partner left her for a younger woman." She addressed the incident in her book, Dear Mr. You, writing about an incident in which she argued with a cab driver. After he told her to get out of the taxi, Parker took the rejection hard. She recalled telling the stranger, "I am alone. Look, see? I am pregnant and alone. It hurts to even breathe." Sean Penn and Robin Wright got married in the early 90s, and at first, they seemed like the rare Hollywood couple that was meant to last. In the late 2000s, however, things began to fall apart. They went back and forth for several years, repeatedly filing for divorce and then getting back together. Wright told Psychology's magazine, "All marriages have their phases. It's life. We go through it if we're married long enough. If you're lucky, you grow and you work it out." Ultimately, they were not in fact able to work it out, and the actors separated for good in 2009, when Wright was 43. Wright told More magazine that she was tired of the back and forth, saying, "I know what I don't want. There's no limbo anymore. There's no time. I'm too old for this shit." Penn's next relationship was with Scarlett Johansson, who was only 26 at the time. They were reportedly spotted making out at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in 2011. The relationship didn't last. These days, Johansson is happily married to Colin Jost. When Ashton Kutcher launched his relationship with Demi Moore, the country became fascinated by the idea of a cougar. Moore had been famous since the 80s, so her relationship with the hunky 20-something surprised fans. They wound up getting married, and eventually, when Moore was 47 and Kutcher 31, she bristled at the label the media had given her, telling W magazine, "I'm certainly not the first person to be in a relationship with a younger man, but somehow I was plucked out as a bit of a poster girl. I'd prefer to be called a puma." Their marriage only lasted a few years after that interview. Moore was unhappy after they opened up their relationship, revealing in her memoir Inside Out that they'd experimented with having threesomes, which led Kutcher to cheat on her with younger women. They split in 2011 and finalized their divorce in 2013. For his part, Kutcher told Esquire, "Nothing makes you feel like a failure like divorce." Instead of moving on with another older woman, Kutcher went the opposite direction. He linked back up with that 70s Show co-star Mila Kunis, who is 5 years his junior. Burlesque icon Dita Von Teese married shock singer Marilyn Manson in 2005. By 2007, however, the relationship fell apart, in part because Manson wanted to romance a 19-year-old Evan Rachel Wood instead. Von Teese didn't seek any financial benefit from their divorce, preferring a clean break that would allow her to move on. She told The Telegraph, "It has always been very important for me to be self-supporting. I know people probably think I married Manson for the money, but that's so far from the case." Instead, she alleged, Manson's hard partying lifestyle became too much. Von Teese said, "I wasn't supportive about his partying or his relationship with another girl, and as much as I loved him, I wasn't going to be part of that." They split, and Manson shacked up with the young actor. The story took an especially dark turn when Wood looked back on their relationship years later. In 2021, she posted a statement to Instagram about her relationship with the much older singer, writing, "He started grooming me when I was a teenager and horrifically abused me for years. I was brainwashed and manipulated into submission. I am done living in fear of retaliation, slander, or blackmail."
I don't believe that he will stop until he is stopped.
Manson sued her for defamation, but he ultimately dropped the lawsuit and paid her $300,000 in legal fees.